Recall, types of angles formed by a transversal are corresponding angles, alternate angles that are alternate interior and alternate exterior angles, and co-interior angles. Now, transversals of parallel lines give rise to the following results, children, in the sense that let us see how these corresponding angles, alternate angles, and co-interior angles behave when transversal cuts parallel lines. Okay, now the problems will be based only on parallel lines and not non-parallel lines. Okay, children? Yeah. Now, the three results that we get here, that is what we are going to discuss in this session. Result 1. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of corresponding angles are equal in measure. If you recall, we learned that 4 pairs of corresponding angles are formed. That is, if these are parallel lines, okay, these are parallel lines, and if this is the transversal, 4 pairs of corresponding angles are formed, children. You can see one is here, one is here. The next pair is, see, always remember corresponding angles are all same side and either they are above the parallel lines or below the parallel lines, if you remember. So we have one pair here, one more pair is here, third pair is here, and fourth pair is here. I think that's clear to you. So these angles that are formed, these corresponding angles that are formed, they are equal in measure. I hope you understood what I'm saying. That means here in this figure you can see we have parallel lines. You can see the symbol for parallel lines. With this, even if we do not mention that the two lines are parallel, you understand with this symbol that the two lines are parallel, and of course this is the transversal. Now, how do you identify corresponding angles? It's here. The angles marked by red, they are equal in measure. That means the two red angles are equal to each other. The angles marked by yellow color, they are equal to each other. Blue angles, that is this angle and this angle, they are equal to each other. And green angles, you can see here one, even they are corresponding angles, they are equal to each other. What we mean by this is, suppose, for example, if I say this angle measures 150 degrees, if I give one particular angle, children, it's very easy for you to find out all the other remaining angles. Okay, now we are talking about corresponding angles, and what did we say? Corresponding angles are equal in measure. So if this green angle here is 150 degrees, then surely this angle is also 150. How do we know this? We just learned that corresponding angles are equal in measure. Okay, now you can easily say what the measure of blue angle is now. Can you? You can, is it not? So this angle becomes 30 degrees and this angle also becomes 30. Why? These two angles are corresponding pair, so they are equal in measure. I hope you understood that. Okay, now how to identify corresponding angles? Now see, children, here you have two lines AB and CD parallel to each other, and XY is the transversal. Now please bear in mind, here in this session we are talking only about parallel lines, so you do not have to get a doubt if they are parallel lines or not. We are talking only about parallel lines. Okay, now you can see clearly how corresponding angles are formed. Look at the picture keenly, you can understand. One more clue for you is, just look at this shape. This shape is like F. Don't you think it's like F? So, if this is inverted F, then you have one angle here and one angle here. So, these two are corresponding angles. If you take the other side, let us say this is, look for this F shape. These two angles are corresponding angles. Children, that is the clue that we can give to identify corresponding angles. Okay? Now, you have one more figure here. All the angles, corresponding angles are represented in various colors for you to look at them keenly and observe and understand how to identify corresponding angles. Okay? Next. Activity. Now you have two lines here. Line L is parallel to line M. Mention the pairs of corresponding angles is the question. Okay? Now, since you know how to identify corresponding angles, it's easy for us to write the pairs. Okay? Now, let's see. Do you all agree that angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding to each other? Yes? I'm sure all of you can. Remember, same side of the transversal, and both these two angles are above the parallel lines. If you look at other pairs, they'll be on the same side, but they will be below the parallel lines. Also, one more clue for you is the F shape, children. Okay? Now, I'm going to write all the pairs. So, angle 1 and angle 5. They are corresponding angles. Angle 1 is equal to angle 5. How do we know this? Just now we learned that in result 1, corresponding angles formed when a transversal cuts parallel lines. The corresponding angles are equal. That is result 1, just now you have learned. Okay, next pair is angle 3, angle 7. So, angle 3 is equal to angle 7, children. Do you agree? Yes, by now you might have written in your books the other two pairs of corresponding angles, that is angle 2, angle 6. So, angle 2 equals angle 6. What is the next pair? Angle 4 and angle 8. I hope you are following. Angle 4 is equal to angle 8. Clear, children? Okay. So, that's how you identify corresponding angles. Result 2. What did we discuss? We have 3 results. Now, I am talking about result 2. Result 2, if two parallel lines, children remember, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of alternate angles are equal. Remember, we have two pairs of alternate interior angles, two pairs of alternate interior angles, and two pairs of alternate exterior angles. So, whatever it is, the alternate angles are equal. Here, this is alternate interior angles I have mentioned. It can be alternate exterior angles also. Okay? Now, here, how do you identify alternate angles? There is one more clue for you, children. The clue is, for corresponding angles, you try to look at F, the shape F. So, these two angles are corresponding. But in case of alternate angles, look for the shape Z. So, the angle here at this vertex and the angle here at this vertex, these two, at this vertex here and at this vertex here, these two angles are alternate angles. And how are these alternate angles? These alternate angles are equal. So the second result is alternate angles formed when a transversal cuts two parallel lines are equal in measure. They are equal in measure. That's why in this example you can see this angle and this angle, they form one pair of alternate interior angles and they are equal. Okay, so suppose I give this as angle 1 and this as angle 2, then I can write angle 1 is equal to angle 2. How do I know that? This from this result. The result says that when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the alternate angles are equal. In the previous result, pair of corresponding angles are equal. In this result, pair of alternate angles are equal. That means interior alternate angles are equal, exterior alternate angles are also there, is it not? We have two pairs of interior alternate angles and two pairs of exterior alternate angles. They are equal in measure. Okay? Yeah. Now, here one more figure is there for you children. You can see here this is one pair of alternate interior angles. If this is 111 degrees, this is also 111 degrees. How do we know? Because we just learned that alternate interior angles are equal. Okay? Next. Alternate interior angles. You can see one more. Look for the shape Z, children. Look for the shape Z. I told you. How is the shape? Look for the shape Z. That's how you can identify. You can see the shape Z. So you have one angle here and one angle here. So angle A is equal to angle B. That is one pair. One more pair. You have angle C and angle D. How are they? They are equal to each other. Again, they are alternate interior angles. I hope that's clear. Okay? Next, how to recognize alternate interior angles or alternate exterior angles? Now, here you can see, again I told you, look for the Z shape here. From here if you go this way and this. So you have Z shape here and at this there is one angle here and one more blue angle here. So they are alternate interior angles and what did we learn? They are equal. That's why here it's represented as 60 degrees and 60 degrees. These two are alternate interior angles and they are equal. So if one pair, so what happens is here children, many results are there. You must be very keen in observation. So this, you can see this entire angle is a straight angle or a linear pair. You can see 60 and 120 are linear pair, but this green angle and this are again interior alternate angles. So they are, each one is 120 degrees. Fine. Then what about red? Here we have two more angles, two more pairs actually. This forms alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles, again they are equal in measure. One more pair of alternate exterior angles, again equal in measure. Look for Z shape children. Please look for Z shape. Interior, you have interior alternate angles. Outside you have alternate exterior angles. You can see exterior angles are, this is one pair and this is another pair. I hope that's clear. Okay, so that's how you recognize alternate angles, how corresponding angles look for F shape, and for alternate angles look for Z shape. Clear? Fine. In the figure, L is parallel to M. Find the measure of the angles mentioned. Okay, now you can see on the screen you have angles. One angle, I told you, in this parallel lines cut by one transversal, if I give you the measure of one angle, you can derive all the other angles looking at that one angle. How? With all these properties of corresponding and alternate angles and co-interior angles. Okay, now you can see, if this angle is represented by 2, then I would say this angle is 140 degrees. How many of you agree with me? You all agree, because these two, that is this angle and this angle, are alternate interior angles. That's why angle 2 is 140 degrees. Then if that is the case, then what about this angle? Yes, children, so many reasons, so many options are there for you. Now you can say this angle is also 140 degrees. There are two reasons. One is this is vertically opposite to this angle. That reason you can give, because here afterwards whenever you are asked to find the measure of angles, you have to give the statement and the reason. So one reason you can give is, yes, it's also 140 degrees because vertically opposite to this angle. Again you can say this angle is 140 because this angle and this angle are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are equal. That's what we have learned. Okay, again in this problem, in the next problem, you can see one angle is 130 degrees. This angle is 130 degrees. Now you have to find out all the other angles. Now angle 6 is corresponding to angle 2. So they will be equal. Now which is the angle corresponding to angle 1? That is angle 5. So I can write angle 5 is 130 degrees. Do you all agree, children? You agree, is it not? Because we learned that corresponding angles are equal. Then what about angle 2 and 6? Angle 2 is equal to angle 6. You all agree? That is, if this is 130 degrees, this has to be 50 degrees. Is it not? Because together they form a linear pair. So angle 2 and angle 6 both are equal, and each one is equal to 50 degrees. Then what about 3 and 7? Now 3 and 7 are corresponding angles and they are equal to one another. Their measure is 130 degrees. You know how we got it. One reason is these two are linear angles. The other one is these two are vertically opposite angles. That's how I came to know what the measure of angle 3 is. What about angle 4 and 8? Angle 4 is again equal to angle 8 and the measurement is 50 degrees. Children, I hope you understood how we got all these angles. Please make a note. It's very, very simple. Once you understand the concept of parallel lines and a transversal, and if you learn if you know how to identify corresponding angles, alternate angles and co-interior angles, and also if you understand the properties, it's very easy for you to solve problems. Okay, next. In the figure, two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Find the measure of all the angles that are mentioned. Now, statement and reason. What did I tell you? I told you that whenever you try to find the measure of angles, you have to justify your statement. Okay, now let's see how to do that. Here, let us say this angle is x. Now we have the measure of only angle x. We have to find out the measure of all the other angles. So let's see how to do that. Now I'll say that if angle x is 60 degrees, I'll say we can start from A, B, C, D, etc. or we can just go about in any order, because we know the reason now how to find. When we find the answer, we know what reason to give. Okay, what I mean is, now I can find angle D, children. If I say angle D, if I start with angle D, then I'll say angle D is 60 degrees. What is the reason? The reason is vertically opposite angle of x. How many of you agree? D is also 60 because the reason I've given is it's vertically opposite angle of x, and you all know vertically opposite angles are equal. That is one reason I can give. Or I can find out E or C or B and give a different reason. But whatever it is, the measure of D will be 60 degrees only. Okay. Now, I want to give different reasons. Okay. So now I'm going to find angle E. So I'll write angle E equals 60 degrees. Two reasons I can give, children. I can write D because angle D is equal to angle E. How do I know that? We know because alternate interior angles. That's why they are equal. That's one reason I can give. One more reason you have. What is that? X. Angle X equals angle E because corresponding angles. They are corresponding angles. I hope all of you are following. It seems slightly tough, children, but it's not, because you know the results now of all these angles, types and results. Okay. Now I found D, I found E. Now I want to find anything you can find. If you want, you can go and find F. Okay. So I'll write F equals, can you tell me what F is? It is 120 degrees. How do I know that? One reason is D plus F. Angle D plus angle F should be 180 degrees if you remember. Okay. Oh, I'll give that result shortly. So I'll give one more reason, children. I'll come to that result. So this is corresponding. Okay. Now here I said F is 120 degrees. How is that? So angle E plus angle F equals 180 degrees. How many of you agree with me? Reason is linear pair. They form a linear pair. Okay, so we found three more angles. Now let's go to anything. I'm sure now you got the trick how to find out the angles. Now let's go to say B. I'll write angle B is equal to 120 degrees. How do we know that? Angle F and angle B are corresponding angles. One more reason you can give. I'm sure you know what it is. You can say these two form a linear pair, or these two form a linear pair. I told you any one reason you can give, but each time please do not give the same reason. Try to look for different ways of deriving the angles. Okay. Now let's go to C. C is again 120 degrees. I can write vertically opposite to angle B. Am I right? Yeah. Now let's go to angle G. Okay. Now angle G is equal to 120 degrees. I can give any reason now. I can say it's linear pair with E I can give, or I can say it's vertically opposite to F I can give. I can give one more reason, children. That is, angle B is equal to angle G because exterior alternate angles. But even if you write G is vertically opposite to F, you will get marks. If you write G is linear pair with E, that is why it is 120, even then you will get marks. Depends on how innovative you want to be in your answers. Okay. Now, how do you find H? H is, angle H is 60 degrees. Again, I told you there are many reasons. You can write H and D are corresponding, or you can write H and E are vertically opposite, or H and X are exterior alternate angles. Any reason. Here I am writing H, angle H is equal to angle D because corresponding angles are equal. Children, I hope you understood how I went about finding out the value of the angles that are formed when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Okay, please listen to this clipping again and again for you to understand clearly. Once you do one or two problems, it's very easy and very interesting for you to find out angles, measure of angles. Okay. Next one, result 3. So in result 1 we learned corresponding angles are equal. In result 2 you learned alternate angles are equal. Let us see what result 3 is. When a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then each pair of co-interior angles are supplementary, meaning their sum is 180 degrees. Now let's see what this is. Now, you all remember, children, co-interior angles means angles formed on the same side of the transversal and between two parallel lines. I am sure many of you can recall what I am talking about. These angles, that is angle 4 and angle 6, are called co-interior angles. Similarly, angle 3 and angle 5 are called co-interior angles. Now, what is the result just now we learned? The sum of co-interior angles, that is angle 4 plus angle 6, is 180 degrees. Similarly, angle 3 plus angle 5 is 180 degrees. That is result 3. What does result 3 say? When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the co-interior angles, that is 4 and 6, one pair of co-interior angles, 3 and 5, one more pair of co-interior angles. How are they? How do they behave? Their property is, when you add this angle 4 and angle 6, the sum will be always 180 degrees. That is supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary to each other. I hope you understood that. Remember, this is third result. What is the third result? Co-interior angles are not equal like corresponding and alternate, but co-interior angles are supplementary, meaning the sum is 180 degrees. Okay, children? Now, let's see what the activity is. In the figure, two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Find the mentioned angles. Now, just now we learned that co-interior angles are supplementary. What does it mean? If angle 1 if angle 1 is 110, that is 110 degrees, then can you tell me what is angle 2? What is the measure of angle 2? I am sure all of you know this. It is 70 degrees. Is it not? It is 70 degrees. Why? We just learnt in result 3 that when you add co-interior angles, their sum should be 180 degrees. Fine. Then how do you find angle 3? Angle 3 is 70 degrees. How do we know this? The reason is angle 3 and 2 are alternate angles, or angle 1 and 3 form linear pair. So 3 has to be 70 degrees. In that case, 4 will be 110, that is 110 degrees. Their sum is again 180 degrees because they are co-interior angles or consecutive interior angles. Okay, children? In the given figure, line L is parallel to line M and P is the transversal. If the measure of angle 1 is 70 degrees, find the measure of all the remaining angles and justify your statement. Okay, so I told you in the exam or test, if you have to write the statement, in the statement you will be writing the angle measurements. Okay, but you have to give reasons. Now you know what the reasons are. Okay, now angle 1 is 70 degrees. How do we know that angle 1 is 70 degrees, children? Can anybody tell me what is the reason that we are stating angle 1 is 70 degrees? Simple. It is given. Where is it given? It's given in the problem itself. Okay, so angle 1 is 70 degrees. So, in the next statement I have given angle 1 and 5 both are 70 degrees. Why? Reason simple, corresponding angles. So angle 1 we found, angle 5 we found. Now let us see angle 2 and 6 and make our job easy. Angle 2 is equal to 110 degrees. Why? It is linear pair with angle 1. That is the reason. That's why I have written angle 2 as 110 degrees. In that case, I will immediately write angle 6 as also 110 degrees. Can you tell me the reason? Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding. Corresponding angles are equal. That's why just now we learned from result 1 that angle 2 and angle 6 are equal. Then I'll write angle 4 is 70 degrees. I told you we can give many reasons, children. Angle 4 I have written as 70 degrees. I can say 1 and 4 are vertically opposite to each other. Angle 1, angle 4 are vertically opposite angles. So they are equal. In that case, I'll write angle 5 is also 70 degrees. Many reasons are there. I can write angle 1 and 5 are corresponding. That's why it is 70 degrees. Or I can write, if I want to give a different reason, I'll write angle 4 and angle 5 are equal because angle 4 equals angle 5 interior alternate angles. Clear? So we found 1, 2, 6, 4 and 5. Now let us see angle 3. I'll write angle 3 is equal to angle 7 is equal to 110 degrees. The reason is angle 3 and 7 are corresponding pair. Corresponding pair of angles. Okay. Now we are left with, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over, we are left with 7 and 8. I can write angles, 7 is also done here. So now we are left with 8. I can write 8 as 70 degrees. It is 70 degrees, is it not? Why? I can give reason as 4 and 8 are corresponding, so they are equal. Or I can write 6 and 8 form a linear pair, so 8 is 70 degrees. Any reason, but here now I am going to give angle 1 and angle 8 form exterior alternate angles. So they are equal. Okay children, so you can think of various reasons, and whichever reason strikes to you, you can write that. It's not wrong to write. I told you each angle will have many reasons for it to be that measurement. Okay. Next, let us summarize the three results that we have learned. When a transversal cuts two parallel lines, the corresponding angles that are formed are equal. That is result 1. Can you remember? Next, when two parallel lines are cut by transversal, the alternate interior angles are equal and alternate exterior angles are equal. Third one, when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, the sum of the co-interior angles is 180 degrees. So these are the three results that you learned today, children. Okay. So that is corresponding angles, they are equal. Alternate angles, they are equal. Okay. And co-interior angles, they are equal. Is that okay? Now, assignment. In your assignment, you have in the given figure, two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Find the measure of each angle and give the reasons. So this is your assignment. I hope you can solve it. I have given you the measure of one angle. You all know now how to find the measure of all the remaining 7 angles, children. I hope this is clear. Anyway,